Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cade Stone. We're back today with episode 3 of Banished Colonial Charter. Now, last time we did get our food situation in order. We did a lot of work just getting the field here sorted out. You can see that our road is still a little jacked up from where we had set everything up initially with some 5x15s. I did a little bit of research for those who missed the last episode. It looks like a 15x15 is optimal for 4 farmers. So before anything else, just because this is going to drive me crazy if I don't do this, we're going to put some dirt roads right there, and then we're going to remove roads. We're going to remove this little strip of road right here just to square things off. Okay, now last time we did get our fishing dock up and running. If we look right here, we brought in 725 fish last season. We also have the trading post, which looks like it has all the logs it needs. It just needs stone and to actually be built. Now, how are we looking for stone? We are completely out. So before we unpause, we're going to go ahead and just set up a new harvest order for stone. And it looks like we have a lot over here. We're going to set a huge area for them just to grab stone from. What else are we looking like? We only have 33 logs, so let's go ahead and start removing some of these trees as well. I don't want to remove them from over here, though, because we have our hunting cabin, we have our gathering hut. So it looks like I'm going to start removing trees from this side. Once again, setting up a huge area. Doesn't need to be quite as big as what the stone was, so we'll just do something about like that. Now, one thing that did come to mind earlier, because we do have all these trees dying, we want to make sure that we have a nice area full of trees, just so that we have that opportunity to keep hunting and gathering food. I feel like if that was to go away, we would be in a little bit of a pickle. So we're going to look for production down here. That's food production. There's resources. Okay, and foresters and logging, what we want is Forester Lodge, new trees. That must be something from Colonial Charter. Let's see, we don't want bamboo. This is a pine forest, so let's go ahead and just do pine trees. And where is the... we'll put it about right here, that way it has some overlap. All the way over to the road. Okay, now that's just going to take... looks like stone and wood. So we'll get somebody working on that eventually. Okay, I'm going to unpause at this point. Let's see, searches all the land looking for animals to domesticate. Well, we'll just have to see about that. Okay, so these are just pretty standard. It's just work. Haven't really gotten into any of the Colonial Charter buildings yet, except for this small iron smelter and this small fuel refinery. Now, the fuel refinery is almost complete. Now, why are we saying that we don't have anybody to work here? Total number of workers in this profession. Oh, okay. So we need more smiths. One to run this, and one to run the smelter. Now, the smelter's not going to work until we have furnace fuel. So one thing we can do is let's go ahead and turn this off for now. And we'll move this down to 1 again. So until we get some fuel, we're just going to have the blacksmith working. But we need that because we are out of tools. So we'll just get some rough iron tools to start off with. Yeah, as we can see, the builder here is actually building without any tools. So probably nailing things together with, I don't know, a rock. We'll just have to see how things go. Now, it is early spring. So we still have a little bit of snow every once in a while. What's going on here with this farmer, though? No tool for them. Okay, we're at 54 of 55, 99% completed. So here in just a moment, the small fuel refinery will begin to work. Okay, so the furnace fuel takes firewood. We can also take fire bundles, charcoal, coke, and coal. I think I'm going to put it on just firewood for now. We will start this up so that we can start getting some actual... some actual iron in, and that way we can make real tools instead of just the rough tools we're making here. Okay, our laborers are starting to come over here and just cut things down. And how are we looking over here? Okay, they still need stone. Quite a bit of it. No work has been started yet over on our forester lodge. Well, we have one tree removed. I guess that's better than nothing. And it looks like our reserve of logs is low. That's fine. We already have this order set up over here to harvest these trees. So what else can we do? Require mulberry leaves at food. I think right now we really have to wait for our trading post to be completed, which means we need these rocks. Yeah, we're out of logs, basically. We're out of stone. We're low on firewood. So it's probably stupid that I'm running this right now. Oh, it's disabled. Okay. So we just need, at this point, more laborers. Now our farm, still at 0%, but people are working that. We can see there are a few small plants through here. But we do have one worker set up to work without any tools at all. Now we set up some roads last time. Maybe I need to go a little less heavy on the roads at this point. It seems like that is slowing our builders down. Considerably, actually. Since I think this person right here, Gemelin, is our only builder. Let's go ahead and take a look there. Yeah, we have one builder. Looks like we optimally need 6. But we are starting to get some furnace fuel going. I think I'll turn this off at some point before the end of summer, so that we'll be able to stockpile up some firewood for our citizens. Now, have people moved into all of these new homes we built? Looks like yes. Right now, I really want to build a road back behind these houses, just to continue our streets. But honestly, that would probably be a really bad idea. Now, one thing I'm noticing that we don't have, I believe it's going to be under services. Civic buildings, yeah, we don't have a well. Okay, and this does provide water for putting out fires. So we are going to stick one right down here. And that well is going to cost us 4 wood and 40 stone. So it's going to be a little while before that actually comes in. We do have 2 laborers right now. And I hear them tinking away, but that may be the builder working on the road somewhere. Our reserve of logs is still low. Eventually, this is all going to get cleared up. How are we looking overall with our workers? Now, we do have quite a bit of fish coming in. We have 3 hunters. I'm going to bump that down to 2 for now. They were bringing in quite a bit of food, a lot of duck meat. So we're only going to have 2 of those. We only have 1 harvester right now, who is still doing a really good job. As you can see here, this season so far, we already have 16 blueberries and 16 onions. Some wild seeds. Anywhere else we can start pairing some workers off of. Our fishing hut. I don't really want to touch that for now. That is our emergency reserve of food. It looks like we have 1 domesticated animal. It doesn't actually say what it is, though. So let's just wait for a little while. We'll bump the speed up and just let things progress because we need more people. As I say that, there was a child born. Okay, let me rephrase. We need more adults. Yeah, that tinking sound that you hear, that's them working on the roads. And it looks like the workers are finally starting to cut some stone over here. So we'll be able to continue building. Okay, firewood is low, but we have 8 furnace fuel at this point. I wonder how much fuel it takes to actually... That's for here. How much fuel it's going to take to turn the iron into... or the iron ore into regular iron. It doesn't say. Hopefully it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. But we'll have to see. So we're already in late spring and we're only at 8% on our yield. But our number of tools is going up. So we don't have any citizens right now without tools. Okay, we're going to turn this down to 1. Let that person that's supposed to be working the smelter get back to work as a laborer. That will make things go pretty quickly. Looks like we have another child now as well. A child named Amar. So Amar, welcome to the kingdom. We have some late spring showers going on as our cornfield does continue to get worked. This makes me a little nervous. I know that every year so far we've had some issues with food. And right now we're only at 25%. You can see that barely half the field is planted so far. It just shows you that one person without a tool will really screw things up. Okay, there we go. We do have another child who just became an adult. I believe that happens at 11 years old. And you can see that we're only in early summer. We're already at 33 people again. So it looks like we started off at 31. Our numbers finally bounced back. Because we did lose a few people. We have our graveyard now. Unfortunately, we didn't have that in place before people started dying. As such, I don't know what happened to them, but they're not here. Now, I am recording this January 2nd of 2019, so I just want to thank everybody for showing up in a new year. Of course, over the last 2 days, I didn't actually record anything. Hopefully, this one will go out today so that you will get this and only have 1 day of interruption in the upload schedule. I just decided New Year's Eve I was going to spend the time with my wife, didn't record anything then. New Year's Day, turned out she got hurt the night before. She took a pretty bad fall. I ended up having to take her to urgent care. Everything's fine. At this point, everything is absolutely fine with her. But we were just worried and wanted to make sure. Okay, so we do have the Forester Lodge over here. We still have a couple more things to remove. It looks like it's these stones. And then the place can start to get built. Our cornfield is... oh, that took a huge jump. It's already at 91% yield. Okay, we have 38 furnace fuel sitting in here. We're in late summer, so at this point I'm going to stop work. And we are going to turn this person back into a laborer. This guy can start to work over here, and we will start work. Okay, so let's see what they grab and how many we actually get out of this. We have 50 iron ore sitting in there right now. 48 furnace fuel, so it looks like we got just a little bit there before we turn that off. We're having food issues. How are we looking over here? We have nothing. Okay. Well, let's take a pause and see what's happening with our workers. Oh, we have 8 laborers now. It looks like a lot of children grew up into adults. So we'll just pull over here and we are going to bump this back up to 3. We'll add 3 more there, so that's 4 people who are now collecting food. And the farmers should have this done soon. So hopefully we don't get any more people starving to death. We're 99% now. It looks like they have already started the harvest. So we'll just let the food come in, and somebody from this house can come, grab the food, take it over. We have some work being completed on the trading post. Our worker is building it now. It has all the supplies it needs. We have a little bit of stone and a little bit of wood. Our firewood is bouncing back. We're almost at half full on our firewood. Is anyone over here actually working this? Okay, yeah, they were just going and getting logs. As such, I think we're going to need to set up another order to cut down some trees. We'll just do trees only at this point. Oh, it looks like a lot of these already had the orders still pending. There's some stone down here. It's close, we'll grab it. And I want to make sure we get the iron ore as well. I might as well have just done a remove resources. Oh, we don't want to do that. That's going to take out our graveyard fence for some reason. Okay, there we go. We'll just grab all the resources out of here. So that's going to harvest all the bushes. It'll remove the iron, the stone, the trees. It'll give our laborers something to do more than anything else. And it looks like we are still having issues with tools. What are you hurting for? Iron ore. Okay, so we don't have any. And we have, 11 people working without tools right now. So, Mr. Blacksmith, you need to get back to work. I will turn this over just to regular iron tools for now, because I see that our furnace operator has actually begun creating iron. Okay, we are in late autumn. Hopefully this food does get harvested by the time that winter sets in and we don't lose anything. Looks like our food reserves are coming back up. We still have duck meat coming in. We have a little bit of fish. So it's not a bad situation overall. And it looks like we did happen to get all of the corn in by the time that winter rolled around. Now I'm going to switch this over to parsnips. I don't know if crop rotation matters whatsoever. But we have the opportunity, so we might as well. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, since we don't have the need for farmers right now, I'm going to turn this down to just 1. I'm going to turn it off completely. And then come late winter, I'll turn that back on, but we want to turn all the farmers back into laborers. Hopefully that will get some things rolling by the time that winter comes around. So we have 2 sets of iron tools. We're down to 10 people working without tools right now. Our blacksmith just really needs to move his ass and get things done. Yeah, you can see that we have 50 iron here. We only have 19 logs, but we did set that huge order over here to take out everything. And right now we are operating with 11 laborers. Now it looks like that's mostly the people who don't have tools at this point. But we have 11, so it should go a lot faster than when we started off with only 2 today. Okay, so we can see this person over here is cutting this down. And what are they going to get out of it? They're carrying some fish and some iron. Looks like it's just a little bit of wood left over. So we'll let them just finish up what they're doing. Now we have a couple of upgrade options available for our blacksmith. We can go to a country smithy, or we can go to a large smithy. At this point, I'm not going to touch either. And our food is starting to run low. How are we looking up here for our fishermen? It looks like they have fished a lot of fish out. And they collected blueberries for some reason. So, that's a thing. Okay, we still have people over here collecting stone. Now, our stockpile is getting pretty full. But hopefully they come over here, start cutting down some more trees. We'll increase our amount of wood. And it looks like I keep closing this out. We are down to only 5 people without tools at this point. Okay, there we go. Saw a lot of trees fall over here just now. So we're in late winter. We'll go ahead and bump this back up to 4. So that they can be ready to work as soon as springtime rolls around. Hopefully the 4 that are chosen are not ones who don't have tools. Did we ever get our well constructed? No, it's not completed yet. And our trader looks like it is 92%, so it's almost done. As you can see, the winter is clearing up. The snow has gone away. And as soon as the trader is completed, then we should be able to start selling off a lot of things. We can increase the amount of seeds we have, as well as possibly make life a little bit nicer for our citizens. So let's take a look in here and see where we're going to go next. We have storage cellars, market buildings. What do we have here? Okay, so markets you can use to make satellite areas, it seems. And then a lot of them, it seems like, are just cosmetic in the difference. Let's see. Oh, that is absolutely enormous. Yeah, that's just a small one. I'm just wanting to take a look at how these look. Okay. So let's see. Let's go into town services and make life a little bit nicer. Maybe our people would like to have a little place to go to church. Let's see. It looks like the best one we can create right now is going to be the small chapel. And we have our warehouse here. So this is going to be a lot of production over there. So I think we're going to start building to the south. Yeah, we'll go to the south and we'll make our residential run this way, as well as a lot of the services. But we do have our graveyard here. That can be the city graveyard. And then we'll put a small one over here by the chapel for the more affluent people who want their dead to be interred. I don't know, sacred land or something. And I know I said earlier that I'm wasting a lot of time building roads. I can't help it. Okay, so we'll put that one right there, and then we can just run this straight up. And there we go. We have the road to our church. That should make the people a little bit happier. We're down to only 2 people without tools. Have they started yet? Or do parsnips run a different time? Okay, it looks like people are starting to work on this again. Now, Mr. Blacksmith, how are you doing? As it is spring, I am going to turn this back on as well. Okay, our trader is complete. Let's see what we can do over here. It looks like we need 6 citizens to be working the location. How many do we have at this time available to be pulled off of other projects? It looks like we have, well, we had 6 altogether. I'm not pulling them all, so we're going to give this 3. We're going to run at 50% efficiency right now. So we need to get some inventory in here. For that, I want to grab... God, I don't even know at this point what we should put in here. I think to start off with, we're going to put in... Let's go with 100 firewood. Do we even have 100 bone meal? No, we have 11. Okay, so we're not going to put 100 bone meal in there. But we can put 60 feathers. That sounds good. And we'll put 100 firewood. We're always making more of that. What else do we have that we could use? Not much. That'll be a good starting point. And then, do we ever complete this? No, but we do have everything out of the way now. So our builder should be going down there at some point to actually finish up our Forester's Lodge. Because as you can see, a lot of the trees are dying. And this is opening up this area quite a bit. We also cleared out a lot of the rocks. So the trees should be able to take the place of the rocks. And I think the increased tree density will make game more likely to hang out over here. That's just a theory, though. So we'll have to see. Now we do have our 4 farmers still seeding the field. We can still see a lot of bare ground here. But now we do have just a little bit coming in there. It is only mid-spring. I'm not going to get worried like I did last season. Okay, so we already have everything over here that we're willing to trade at this point. And our firewood is at 71. Now we do have a lot of forestry going on still. Our firewood cutter, absolutely knocking this out of the park. You can see that we set up 100 to be taken away. Already cut 129 this spring. So I think we're going to bump that up to 200. We're a very rural community right now. We're going to have to rely on the resources of the land before we can really start trading anything good. Yeah, we're going to be getting some food out of this mass removal that I set over here. Just looking, we're going to get some mushrooms. Looks like berries, wild roots. So I think our food crisis that we were going through a few years ago has finally resolved itself. What are you complaining about? The materials required to perform work are not available. Well, you should quit complaining then, because we're going to get it for you eventually. And you have 33 in your inventory, so shut up. I think I'm going to need to put another stockpile down. This is massively full of stone at this point. So yeah, I'm going to drop just another stockpile. Yeah, and it's going to go right over here. And be just in line with the woodcutter so that we can just have a straight line across. And once again, I know what I said. I also know that it's driving me crazy without it. And I think we should be able to drop just a little bit of stockpile right next to this. People were using it as a way to cut through. But I've got enough roads all the way around here. They can walk around. Our parsnips look like they're coming in very nicely now. We're at 38% yield. So we'll just have to see how that one goes. Right now we're just waiting really on our builder to do what they need to do. We still don't have any work completed on the well, but I think I set the work order up over here for the forester first. And you can see that the forester is getting some of the resources they need. We almost have all the logs, and then we only need 12 stone. We'll have that thing built in no time. Now we are going to continue to get these reserve of firewood as low warnings from time to time. Just because we're using it all over the place. Every one of our houses is going to need it, as well as our fuel maker and our trader. Speaking of the trader, we should have a trade boat coming in sometime soon. So we'll have to see how that goes. Okay, what is that icon off to the side? I know we need planks. We're just going to have to wait until we get a little bit more of a higher population here. Speaking of which, how are we looking for workers? Okay, we have 3 laborers at this point. We're going to continue to let them work. And that one domesticated animal, I'm just trying to figure out what that one is. Huh. I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know down in the comments. Okay, how are we looking on fuel over here? We don't have any in storage. Looks like we have 30 overall, and it's probably all sitting in the inventory here. But we do have a pretty hefty supply of tools at this point. I think we could probably move 20 tools over. That would be pretty good for trade. I don't want to take everything we have there, but we are getting a nice little backlog going. And I want to have enough over here for a pretty good trade whenever we finally get a trader gracing our halls. Oh, okay. Yeah, our furnace fuel is stored over here. This must have been full at the time or something. Okay, so we are in early autumn, and our people are starting to harvest the parsnips. We're already down to 52% yield. It's growing some more. So it looks like maybe they had a late start. They've already grabbed everything on this end. But they should harvest this to get everything done by the time that autumn is over. Okay, and our forester has finally started to be built, and it's almost done, actually. So with this, we can have somebody just walk around and plant pine trees. And fill in the bare spots, like right here. And we have quite a bit of birch through here as well, it seems. And we don't want to cut any. We'll get 2 people because somebody grew up into a laborer. So let's see. Yeah, that's going to leave us with 2 laborers overall. That's fine. We can just continue to get the trickle of resources coming in from over here. And it looks like people who don't have anything else to do are also coming over and chopping stones, cutting down trees. Okay, still just in early autumn. I'm just wondering where our trader actually is. Because we should be getting one anytime now. It's possible they only come at like the start of the season or something. Dwarf Fortress style. I don't think that's the way it is, though. Okay, so it is autumn. We're going to turn work off here. And they have fuel. I don't know what they're complaining about. Oh, they don't have any iron ore. Yeah, and that's probably this guy right here who's cutting this iron. Yeah, that was the problem. So that warning went away as soon as that happened. But I don't want to be using any more of our firewood this late into the season. It looks like our firewood reserve... Yeah, it's going to be right here. Yeah, we only have 30 stacked up right now. Now, I don't see anybody over here who's having issues with firewood. And it looks like everybody has a nice little variety of food. Who are you and what do you do? Gemelin, fuel refiner. Okay, so we stop that one. We'll turn her back into a laborer for now. And it looks like actually I don't need to take them off of the job itself. So I'll turn that back on. I'll just turn the work off. So we'll have the warning. But she just defaults to laborer, it seems. And we have some... What are these, ducks? Yeah, we have some ducks flying around over town. Very slow, defying gravity. And this one shouldn't actually be producing anything, just planting trees. And that's exactly what we want. Now, Deneth just became an adult, is working as a laborer. So those numbers should continue to rise. At this point, we're at 41 people, including the children. So it's been a very productive year. People have been increasing our population. I think it's almost time to get another row of houses. Oh, we have our well now. Okay, good. A few more trees to remove so that they can have their chapel. And there was a child born and somebody became an adult all at the same time. Orders, purchase, trade. No, nobody's here. Oh, we can actually see the value of what we're trading. So yeah, the iron tools, that was a good choice. Now the feathers, not so much, but we had them and we didn't need them at the time. So we're going to continue to get those from our hunters. I don't think that's a bad idea to have that over here. So we're just going to leave it be. Okay. Man, I wish somebody would come here before the end of the year. But, c'est la vie. Okay, we're almost completed with the chapel, so the town has grown a little bit during this episode. We've really just been working on our infrastructure, trying to get things cleared out, working as well as what we possibly can. Let's get them one more service before we end this. Let's see, an herbalist. We can put an herbalist in town. Now this one does have a radius. I want to make sure that they are all within the actual range. I think a house is only 4 wide instead of 5 like this is. So we will rotate this and it's not going to fit there. We can put it right here. That's going to cover all of our population. And just because I can, there is going to be a road going in here. There we go. So we have our road. We're going to have the herbalist in. That shouldn't take very long at all for that one to actually be built. Everything's being delivered to our chapel now. So our people should be a little bit happier and a little bit healthier. You can see that the average happiness has gone up to 4.5 stars. And our healthiness was actually only at 3.5 stars when we started off. It's back up to 4. So our people are doing a little bit better now. We're making sure that they have tools, they have firewood, they have food. And it looks like the chapel has finally started construction at this point. They have everything they need. So our little chapel in the woods is going to be a fantastic thing for our people. And then they'll be able to go down here, do their worship, and generally just be happier overall. Okay, what do we have here? That icon went away. Oh, there it is again. Is that just that we have the ability to upgrade at this point? I don't know. Oh, right there it is. Production limit has been reached. Okay, so let's increase that. Let's keep 200 tools. Yeah, we'll be able to get a nice little backlog going so that we'll have some tools for trade. I mean, that's going to keep them working for a long time. And it looks like we probably don't actually have what we need for that. We have only 35 iron, 33 logs. Yeah, no, we're gonna take that back down. We'll take that down to 80. Yeah, nice number, divisible by 20. So that's what we're gonna set that at. So that we can grab probably half of that at a time. Oh, look at that! The river's the deer are just walking underneath the water. Yeah, we'll just get everything set up, and hopefully in year 5, Cadestonia will receive their first trader. We do have people who are planting at this point. But just like that, the winter does abate, and this episode draws to a close. I want to thank you very much for showing up here today. It is always a pleasure to have you here in the great realm of Cadestonia. Once again, my name is Cade Stone. You have a great day. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button so you will be notified anytime I put out a new video.